Hello, Amador County. I'm Tom Slivick. Welcome to TSPN's News for today. Let's take a look at our headlines. Amador Supervisors OK changes to regional traffic mitigation fees. Jackson Rancheria ends affiliation with ACRA due to neglect of Mollie Joyce Park. Prospect Bowers realignment on Sutter Hill gets a loan okayed by the Amador Supervisors. BLM takes comments on the Mokelumne River feasibility study. And Amador Supervisors discuss a $1.46 million, make that $146 million traffic fee wish list with ACTCs will be changing with the new regional transportation plan. And in the second half of the news, I'll be speaking with Tamara Harding, stroke program coordinator at Sutter Amador Hospital, about stroke awareness and education that Sutter Health is bringing to its Sacramento region. Stay with us while these stories when I return from the other side of the break.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.
Hi everyone and welcome back. Amador County Supervisors on Tuesday, July 10th, approved fee changes for the Amador County Regional Traffic Mitigation Fee Program and also approved the implementation of an appeal process. The amendments to the Regional Traffic Mitigation Fee and policy must still be sent around to ACTC's other member entities for individual consideration. Jackson City Council gave it the okay on Monday, July 9th, and Plymouth City Council approved it last week. The traffic impact fee changes include an increase on fees for single-family residents, which would go from $3,040 to $3,878 per single-family dwelling. Another change okayed by the supervisors would be a decrease in fees for high-volume retail businesses, which would go from $6,080 per 1,000 square feet of business floor space to $3,344 per 1,000 square feet. Another amendment to the Memorandum of Understanding within the ACTC Regional Traffic Mitigation Fee Program is the addition of an appeals process for the fee program. Supervisors approved on Tuesday in a 4-to-1 vote, with Supervisor John Plaz voting against it. Plaz said his reason for voting against it was that the requirement that the appellant would pay the cost of the appeal. He said he would hate to be a home builder and have to pay all the traffic engineer's costs to appeal the fees just to prove a point. And Supervisor Vice Chairman Richard Forster disagreed, saying that if the traffic mitigation fee appeal process was free, everyone would appeal it. Supervisor Ted Novelli said the appeal policy would give the appeal board more discretion in determining waivers, and Plaz said he was looking at it more from an individual home builder's standpoint, and that's the reason for my no vote. County Counsel Greg Gillette said the development pulls the building permit and they pay the fees at that time. Supervisor Chairman Louis Boitano said there are contractors that buy one lot at a time and speculate, and Forrester asked ACTC staff to note that they would like to look at a tiered schedule for discussion at the next meeting. ACTC Executive Director Charles Field said the Subdivision Map Act provides that when developments come in, they have to do much more, and impacts are dealt with separately through the California Environmental Quality Act process, and Field said they can discuss it at a committee meeting. The Jackson Rancheria Band of Miwok Indians and its park restoration project have ended their affiliation with the Amador County Recreation Agency, reportedly due to neglect of maintenance at Mollie Joyce Park. Adam Dalton, in his weekly letter, noted that a new ball field donated to Amador County as a gift from my family had gone from a green oasis to dry, dying grass, and the dream I once had for Mollie Joyce is quickly fading. Dalton said the Mollie Joyce restoration required countless hours of intense labor from volunteers and crew members. He asked people to consider the $150,000 spent generously from the pockets of my family dedicated toward just this one park. He said, I'm astounded by the lack of maintenance provided by ACRA, with even the task of simply watering the field. When asked by ACRA what my family would like in return for our donation, I responded with nothing more than requesting them to provide upkeep and respect in maintaining the condition of the park after completion. Dalton said, it appears to me that ACRA is not committed to their park maintenance program. It is unfortunate, as I believe that we were doing something hospitable by turning over such a beautifully, easily maintainable park to their care. He said, "My family and I would very much like to continue our work helping to restore our parks and ball fields. However, I'm afraid that because of the lack of care given to Mollie Joyce and its current poor condition, we can no longer participate in assisting with the 15 parks maintained by ACRA of the 30-plus parks in Amador County. Once we return to the Amador County Park Restoration Project," Dalton said, "the park chosen will be one unaffiliated with ACRA. The tribe will continue our commitment to this project independently." He said, "The 9 board members of ACRA, we believe in our hearts that you will all take notice and make the effort to improve your current park maintenance program for the deserving people of our community." Amador County Supervisors on Tuesday okayed loans of $250,000 in regional traffic mitigation fees to the Prospect Drive-Bowers Drive intersection alignment in Sutter Creek. Amador County Transportation Commission Executive Director Charles Field told supervisors that the loan was based on increased costs after the project's lowered bid came in $240,000 over estimates. Increases were based on more work due to blasting, some engineering staging areas that needed a change, and a requirement by Caltrans to build sidewalks to mitigate an issue with power poles. Field said sidewalks would allow ACTC to avoid having to move the power poles at the intersection, which would be even more costly. Sidewalks would create a buffer between traffic and the poles. Field said the loans would come from funds approved for the Western Ione Roadway Improvement System in Ione and Sutter Creek project in Jackson. Supervisor Vice Chairman Richard Forster said the timeliness for the Ione and Jackson projects would not be delayed by the loan. Field said Jackson City Council already okayed the loan of funds, which it approved last week. Field said Ione staff understands the need, but Ione City Council will not address the issue until August due to a change of administration. The city's new manager, Edwin Pattison, takes office on August 1st. The Bureau of Land Management will hold a public meeting Tuesday, July 31st at the Jackson Civic Center to take public comments on a feasibility study for commercial activities on the Mokelumne River from Electric Road to the Middle Bar Takeout. The meeting will begin at 7 p.m. Tuesday, July 31st in the Jackson City Council Chambers, 33 Broadway, as announced by Jeff Horn, Outdoor Recreation Planner in the BLM's Motherlode Field Office. Horn said Wednesday that the field office is following National Environmental Protection Agency procedures for the potential commercial activities on the Mokelumne River. The process includes this meeting and an environmental assessment. He said they could expect commercial activities such as kayaking instruction, rafting outfitting, instruction and guidance, and possibly fishing guiding. He said the fishing guiding may be a stretch as it may not be economically viable. The meeting will begin a process of the environmental assessment for the impacts on the Mokelumne River for those commercial activities. The meeting July 31st will help with the production of the feasibility study. A NEPA planning document for the study is available on the BLM Motherlode Field Office website under NEPA planning. Comments will be taken until August 15th and can be sent to Horn at the BLM Motherlode Field Office in El Dorado Hills. Amador County Supervisors on Tuesday discussed potential changes to the county's collective highways wish list that is part of the Regional Traffic Mitigation Fee Program operated by Amador County Transportation Commission. Supervisor Brian Oneto asked about the make that $146 million wish list of projects, saying fees that come in have been minuscule in comparison. The 2010-2011 annual report said the program collected $123,000 in fiscal year, the lowest amount in the program's history. ACTC Executive Director Charles Field said that a regional transportation plan update, now being led by Neil Peacock, will change the nexus for the list of projects and corresponding fees. Field said we were expecting $30 million from the Regional Traffic Mitigation Fee Program, and we are not getting it. He said the list will be revised based on the new plan. Supervisor John Plass asked how he can justify the nexus and fees if they know the list needs revision. The Field said they need to modify the list by next year. He hoped to have a draft regional transportation plan out for ACTC and public review by winter. Field said the $146 million includes funds from other sources. Oneto said he was concerned that businesses wanting to relocate here would be stopped by the high fees. Plass said the boom year of 2006 only generated $1 million in fees, and it would take 36 years to achieve the fee program goals. Supervisor Ted Novelli noted that it took 40 years to get the Sutter Creek bypass built, and he asked Supervisor Chairman Louis Boitano if it was realistic to think they could build the Jackson bypass by 2025 as targeted on the list. Boitano said, "Not in my lifetime," and Supervisor Richard Forster said it is difficult to forecast economics. Novelli said ACTC has worked on the Jackson bypass project twice in recent decades, and twice it's been rejected. Field said, "You will find something else in the new regional transportation plan that the work group is working on for a Jackson traffic solution." He said it was worth noting that the fee program was built for viable projects. Those include the $30 million 49 bypass around Sutter Creek, the 4988 May Street intersection in Jackson, the Ridge Road 88 intersection in Pine Grove, and the 88-104 intersection in Martell. Boitano said, "My business people in Sutter Creek might not agree with me, but I think the 49 bypass is the best thing that's ever happened to Sutter Creek." Plass asked about the Argonaut Lane intersection at 88 and 49, and Field said it has $100,000 in investment work invested in Caltrans approval and will proceed. That's being delayed by a property owner who's not a willing seller. Let's take a look at our weather. It's hot out there again today. I think we're heading for some cool down, but today it's to be 104 with a low of 69. Winds west 5 to 8 miles an hour. On Friday, a little cooler at 99. Winds west-southwest at 58, and on Saturday, look for it to be 95. And stay with us. I'll be right back with our guest after this break.